Hey guys, let's get more news about Steelers, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Washington Commanders free agency, Steelers CB James Pierre signs one-year deal. The Washington Commanders signed another cornerback in free agency today. Former Pittsburgh Steelers CB James Pierre has signed a one-year deal to join defensive coordinator Joe Witt Jr.'s new defense in Washington. Pierre will also work with new special teams coordinator Larry Izzo. James Pierre was an undrafted free agent from Florida Atlantic that was signed by the Steelers after the 2020 NFL Draft. He made Pittsburgh's initial 53-man roster that season, but didn't get his first start until the following year. He played his highest amount of snaps on defense, 36%, in 2021, but has been used on special teams for at least 45% of snaps in all 4 of his seasons with the Steelers. First call, Cam Sutton released by Lions, Steelers losing a corner, tough Penguins weekend ahead. Friday's first call features the latest on former Pittsburgh Steelers cornerback Cameron Sutton. A current Steelers corner is heading to the NFC East. We check in on a potential Steelers wide receiver free agent target. And the Penguins have some tough challenges ahead. Former Steeler Cam Sutton has been released by the Detroit Lions. This news comes after an arrest warrant was issued for him Wednesday in Hillsborough County in Florida. The cornerback is facing domestic battery by strangulation charges. Via Rick Stroud of the Tampa Bay Times, Hillsborough County deputies found a battered woman at Sutton's home. Sutton then was said to have left the scene and shut his phone off. Via Lions beat reporter Justin Rogers, Hillsborough County Police were called at 4:30 a.m. on March 7 about the alleged domestic incident and have not been able to locate Sutton, so they released the warrant on social media. The Lions signed Sutton away from the Steelers with a 3-year, $33 million contract a year ago. He got $21 million fully guaranteed, including a $10.9 million signing bonus. According to Fox Sports' Greg Auman, that guarantee could be voided because of the nature of the charges. During his only year in Detroit, Sutton totaled 65 total tackles, 1 interception and 6 passes defensed as the Lions reached the NFC Championship game. The Steelers are saying goodbye to cornerback James Pierre. He is going to the Washington Commanders. That's according to CBS' Josina Anderson. Pierre is the first of what could be many free agent cornerbacks on the roster to sign elsewhere. Patrick Peterson, Levi Wallace and Shandon Sullivan are all also free agents. Pierre, 27, first joined the Steelers as an undrafted free agent out of Florida Atlantic in 2020 and became a key reserve and special teamer over his 4 seasons in Pittsburgh. Prior to 2023, the Steelers kept Pierre as a restricted free agent. They declined to tender him a contract but re-signed him to a 1-year deal. This offseason was his first as an unrestricted free agent. As of now, the Steelers have Joey Porter Jr. and Dante Jackson at corner, and everyone else is projected as a reserve or special teamer. By the way, Pierre was a frequently relied upon special teams player, and his absence could be felt there. Lions free agent wide receiver Josh Reynolds has been connected to the Steelers in the free agent rumor mill. With Deontay Johnson getting traded to Carolina and Mike Williams signing in New York instead of Pittsburgh, the Steelers need some help. But now another AFC North team is showing an interest. According to ESPN's Adam Schefter, Reynolds is on his way to Baltimore for a visit. Reynolds was a Los Angeles Ram for the first 4 seasons of his career before joining Tennessee and Detroit. In 2023, Reynolds had 40 catches for 608 yards and 5 touchdowns. The Pittsburgh Penguins are struggling, having lost 6 of their last 8 games. And things aren't about to get any easier. Sidney Crosby and company are going on the road for 2 games this weekend to play 2 of the best out west. Then they come back to Pittsburgh for a headline-worthy challenge next week within the Metropolitan Division. Friday night, the Pens are in Dallas. Sunday afternoon they are in Colorado. Both of those franchises have 93 points, good for a three-way tie atop the Central Division with Winnipeg for first place. Mike Sullivan's team played both of those clubs in consecutive games at home in late October as well, losing to Dallas 4-1, October 24, and blanking Colorado 4-0, October 26. Then, on Tuesday, the Penguins welcomed the Carolina Hurricanes with former Penguin Jake Guentzel making a quick return to Pittsburgh. Guentzel was held without a point Thursday, but the Hurricanes still managed to win 3-2 over the Philadelphia Flyers. The Canes have won 5 of 6 games since acquiring Guentzel from the Pens before the trade deadline. So far, Guentzel has 2 goals and 6 assists in Carolina. Steelers met extensively with record-breaking receiver prospect, report. With things beginning to slow down in free agency across the NFL, the draft is becoming a bigger focus for teams. That includes the Pittsburgh Steelers, who have some major needs they can address in this year's NFL draft. The team's needs have shifted throughout the offseason as they have made some of the biggest moves in the league over the last few weeks. Those moves included trading away former Pro Bowl wide receiver Deontay Johnson. As a result of that trade, a WR2 who can play alongside George Pickens has become a pretty big need for the team. On March 20, they met with a receiver that could be capable of filling that role. According to Sportskeeda's Tony Pauline, former Texas wide receiver Xavier met extensively with the Steelers at his pro day. Worthy has done nothing but help his draft stock since joining the Texas Longhorns. He made an impact immediately at the college level, making 62 catches for 981 yards and 12 touchdowns as a freshman. His sophomore season wasn't as strong, but he still continued to produce with 60 catches for 760 yards and 9 touchdowns. As a junior, he put together the best season of his college career. He made 75 catches for 1,014 yards on a Texas team that made it to the college football playoff. Things only got better for him at the NFL Combine. Worthy put his unbelievable speed on display for scouts, breaking the Combine record in the 40-yard dash with a time of 4.21 seconds. There isn't much more you could ask for from a prospect than what you get with Worthy. He had an early breakout age in college. He was productive throughout his career at Texas. Worthy was an early declare, entering the draft after his junior season. On top of all of that, he has record-breaking speed. The one real drawback is his size. Worthy is small. He is 6'1", but weighs just 169 pounds. That raises concerns about potential injuries and his ability to deal with physical corners at the line of scrimmage. If he can overcome the size issue, Worthy could be a dangerous weapon at the NFL and would be a good fit for the Steelers. The Steelers appear to have entered this offseason with the goal of revitalizing their offense. They made a pair of big moves to completely change their quarterback situation. The offensive line is still a work in progress, but that is expected to change during the draft. The only other thing really missing in Pittsburgh right now is a WR2. It's a need they created themselves, but it's also one they might be able to fix with Worthy. Worthy's ability as a route runner could help the team replace Johnson. He also has the speed to beat defenses over the top. In an Arthur Smith offense that should include plenty of play action, there should be opportunities for the Steelers' receivers to beat opposing defenses deep down the field. Throwing the deep ball also happens to be something that Russell Wilson still does well even as he has shown signs of decline. There is a chance the Steelers fill this need before the draft and they'll be sure to look at other prospects, but Worthy could be a good option for Pittsburgh if they end up deciding to draft a wide receiver. And you, fan, what do you think of the situation Xavier Worthy? Leave your opinion in the comments.